Now, I'm going to tell you what I know about. I've tried to get across to you how important written history is. The absence of written history about what's here hurts us because we have no idea many things about the people who are buried here, how many who are buried here, who they were, or anything. Very, very important. Just let me tell you what I know and how I know it. I know it from talking to older people who have carried stories on from their parents and their grandparents. Now, you're very, very fortunate because there are very few people your age who even know the existence of this little cemetery. Most people are old, and as those people die, this information is going to be lost completely. That's why it's so important that we document this and get things down in your journal and you remember, so that you can carry these. Ago, there were basically two families that came into this area. One of them was the Burton family, who Desiree and Lacey are descendants of the Burtons. The first man who was a Burton who came into this area was a man by the name of John Pleasant Burton, and he's the fellow that I mentioned down there that's buried in that cemetery. The Burtons came from Pennsylvania. Now, there was another family by the name of Isom. And a descendant of the Isoms was a man by the name of Sanders, a Mr. Van Sanders, and that's where I got most of my information about this cemetery. Mr. Sanders now is dead. He died a couple years ago. I also found out some information from some other Isoms. But anyway, the Isom family. The Isom family was different from the Burton family because they came from the South. They came from the Carolinas. Now, we talked about the Carolinas yesterday in social studies, how they were southern colonies, right? And they adopted many of the southern ways of life, including slavery. Now, when the Isoms came into Indiana, and I'm not sure what year that was, but we think they brought with them, or these people had been slaves, but when they moved into Indiana, they were actually free because they were in a free territory. If they came after the Civil War, they came pretty much just as servants. Now, why did they come? They didn't really have any place else to go. Many of them had been born into these families and had grown up since they were a child. It was the only life they knew, so they came. Now, how do I know that? All right, I know it for several reasons. Number one, Mr. Van Sanders told me, just across by an old black woman many years ago. I have walked back in that woods and I have found that house. Indeed, there is a house there. I also know there are some foundations for some homes over down the hill here and up close to where Mr. and Mrs. Edwards lived down here, the old couple that I was telling you about. All right? So I think this story is true. Now, there's a lot of folklore connected to this cemetery, and I'm going to tell you some of it after we leave. All right? I don't want to tell you now because it'd be kind of disrespectful, I think, to this is a cemetery, and it'd be disrespectful of the dead. Now, why are they buried here? The time we're talking about, blacks and whites did not mingle. Liberty Baptist Church. And that church was actually there about the time that these people probably were buried here. They have a cemetery at our church. It's a nice cemetery. I mow it. There's some beautiful stones. These people weren't buried up there. Why do you suppose? They're black. And the blacks didn't go to that church because it was a white. The blacks and the whites did not mingle. So the blacks buried their people wherever, and this happened to be the spot. You'll notice that it's on a fairly high crest of a hill, isn't it? If you ever noticed about cemeteries, many times cemeteries are actually put on a hill. Why is that? Maybe closer to heaven, do you reckon? They're simply homemade stones. I cannot tell at any time there was ever a name on them at all. I probably know where these stones came from. If you walk about 100 yards that direction, there is an old gullied creek bed. Actually, it is the end of a spring that goes back under the ground but washes out all the dirt. There are stones down there right now in the, I have this in my mind. I can see these people, probably went down there, picked up some stones, maybe chopped some corners off of them, and that's what these stones were made out of. Now this stone, and this is the one I'm going to fix up later on, this is actually a stone that was cut by somebody. All right? Now, it's very easy to read. There's a woman in the cemetery by the name of Jane Burnett. She was born in 1872. that's 121 years ago. Now imagine, if you will, take yourself back 121 years. I don't know where, probably in that direction, because that road wasn't even there in 1872. That road was not even in existence, I don't think, as far as I know. They walked up this hill, they had a small little service. Probably the woman was buried in a pine box, or maybe nothing at all, but probably an old box of some kind, a wooden coffin. Very small service. They probably were religious people. You see that? That says this woman went somewhere. Where? Huh? Unless she was a believer in God and believed that there was an afterlife. Don't you imagine? Or at least her family was. And so they were probably for a time there were people that came up to this cemetery and brought flowers and maybe put on these graves. But after a while, all the black people that came with the Isoms, the servants, died. Or else they left and went somewhere else. And there were no black people living left in the area that came with the Isoms. And this cemetery was forgotten. There are people today, somewhere in America, that are related to the people buried in this cemetery. They have no idea where great-great-great-grandpa whoever, or great-great-great-great-grandma Jane is. Because that information has been lost to time. Because of why? No written records. No written history. Alright? That guy coming on the four-wheeler's my dad. Don't you kids watching, because he bites the kids. He's awful bad about biting kids. Alright? Now, what we're going to do, I will come down some other time here. I'm going to place this stone about here. Alright? I'm going to put a metal post behind it and try to cement the very bottom of it in. But you see, I can't cement it very far, can I? Because if I do, I'm going to cover up the 1872. And I don't want to do that. One last thing about this. What do you think? You know, some of you said, are we going to mow the grass? And you were surprised when I told you there's no grass to mow. What do you think about this area? Look around. At one time, what do you think about this area?
This is just the trees were all down the big field.
All right, good observation, Kirk. These trees, these little poplars and some of these other trees, there's not a tree standing here that's probably 20, 25 years old. This was a field at one time. Was it a field when these people were buried here? I have no idea. It could have been. It very well could have been. So what I want to do, while you guys catch up on your journal with all this stuff, and by the way, you can kind of back up and lean, sit on the ground. Don't worry about getting dirty. I want to get some guys to put these posts in this ground. Don't roam off. You stay right where you are. All right, sit on the ground. And remember, I want you to draw a little sketch of these three stones. Would you do that? Right now. And I'm going to get a couple people. Josh, we're going to put this chain up here. All right, who's got the shovel? All right, what do I want you to do, huh?
Just clicked off.
Well, get what you can.
You got to keep that down.
No, no.
You kept clipping off.
You shouldn't have.
Joe, is that Mr. Watterson Senior?
That's Mr. Watterson Senior.
You know what Mr. Watterson said about you? That you're bite kids.
My black kids.
You bite.
Oh, I thought you were saying about my black kids. And one of these, at midnight, he'll raise up. He'll get scared. And
all right.
all this change.
Who's got the shovel?
I do.
All right. Who's got the tamping stick?
Nobody. It's right there.
You got a hole right there, you know? Huh?
Remember what I said? You got to have that picture drawn.
How many graves are there here?
There's 3 stones, but we don't have any idea how many people's actually buried. There could be 20. You don't know.
I'll tell you what, one thing, they're all dead.
Yeah, they are. For a long time.
They just died to get in this part of the big tree over here.
Mr. Watson, we got a best seat ever.
That's in a fence. Well, of course, that wasn't a fence row probably back then. That's
One was cut here, I don't know, it's been 40 years ago or what. Where's that to get you at?
I had to have a bus driver.
Oh.
No, not yet. But just lay the flowers off. Okay, where'd my tamping stick go? I had a stick. Oh, you got it. Okay, take it over here and start tamping around. You may want to use the smaller end. That's fine. There are your pictures right there, Brandon. Josh, you got the chain, don't you, buddy?
Yeah. Not even.
Swing it.
Got too much in there, didn't I?
Wow.
Dad, Pete, help him get those things straight, will you?
Huh?
Help him tamp those and get them straight.
Yeah, we gotta cut this.
Go for a bit.
Zipper! Let's start. Put your hand up through there. Don't press that red button. Don't press those buttons.
You want this tight?
As
tight as I can get it.
No, just tight as you can get it.
Where did the bulldozer?
I got a pair of pliers
Where did the bulldozer miss?
well, right over there, see? That's what I was saying. If that high line would have happened to have been here, this would have been long gone. I don't think anybody would really pay any attention to it. Get them up.
Brandon, touch the chain. What? Touch the chain.
Make sure you get your journals.
He's a little bit.
Okay. Not yet. We'll crimp those things in a minute.
I forgot to wear old shoes in my car.
Well, they'll clean up. I didn't really have any really old ones to wear either.
You should have put on my light.
You gonna hold that camera, Carrie? I'm gonna put some more dirt on these if I can. I got enough chain, didn't I? Well, I'll have to
Cut it.
come cut that off there.
Yo, look at
Kirk, you can re-tamp these over here. I'm putting more dirt on top of them.
I had a better day. You know, that's beautiful.
I think they missed that weather.
Beautiful day.
I can't think of a way that you might get snake bit any more likely than walking down there.
Where?
Down that way.
Big pond right down there. What do you think this is?
There is no bear in
You know, I don't know. I couldn't make that out.
Girl, look at him. Yeah.
What?
Wife
Oh, okay.
Oliver Burnett.
Oh, okay. Why? What do you think? Think these people are going to come back along?
We're going to follow up with some research on this.
Don't let him bite you.
I wanted to get it done though before weather got.
Oh, this says anything.
No, it
What do you want to clamp it? I don't know, Mr. Watterson. Mr. Watterson,
Yes.
you want to clamp it around here?
Yeah, take the pliers and clamp those things so if anybody happened to come along, yeah. Clamp it like that. So if anybody happened to come along, they're going to have a pair of pliers or something.
What's down there?
Take that chain.
Take that chain off.
Wait, get this.
Put water on this end. Is that it?
I know it.
There's one down here. This is mine.
Okay,
Let's
let's see your picture, Mike.
Oh, picture mine.
What is it?
You gotta shut it. You see?
All right, is everybody caught up on the journal now?
No.
What name of what? Oh, okay. It's Jane Burnett, wife of Oliver Burnett.
I'll do it some more. Mr. Larson, you can get a little stick and pop that stone up.
Well, there's not much I can do with that one. That's just the rock. That's all it is. Still got the camera going, Chris?
Yeah.
Wire brush.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna be here?
We're not going to be here, man.
Enough time to go get a wire brush?
This ditch got to be back now. Man, I thought it was C-A-N. Gone home.
Gone home.
Gone home.
That's what it says. Gone home.
Yeah. Okay, we got them all tamped? All right. Everybody want to back up to where you were? You guys can stay there.
Mr.
Back up, please, boys.
Gone home.
Yeah, you can stay there. Be all right.
Mr. Watterson, you
Yeah.
want me to get what that says?
You can if you want to get around the other side.
Somebody.
Everybody get back to where you were. Jeremy.
I'm clamping this still.
We go to see her again.
People, Chris.
Yeah, me and Mike can go to my grandma and papa.
It's born February the 3rd, 1820. Something 3.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, can you give me a ride on your 4-wheeler?
You don't want to ride in. You drive like a maniac.
I do. You ain't sitting. He knocks us off.
Yeah, but not
What,
now.
you're in?
Not now. It was concrete.
Hey, Ronnie, you're up for these stones. Are easy.
Them big old deer will get tangled up in that train.
Good.
Deer meat.
The next time I come, I'll bring my 33.
Okay, who's my flyer man? Right? Okay, I need to get a couple still pictures for the paper. We're going to do it. And to do that,
I'll hold it.
come here, Hillary, Amber, Casey, and Mike. I want you guys back over there. Hillary, hold the stone right there. Oh, just hold it up. All right, back in behind there. Be fine. I want to get. Oh, I just got my camera.
Flowers. Put some flowers there in front of that stone.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Back over here.
Give me the flowers.
Out here. We gotta go over there. Get over there. Get over there. Go over there. Over there. I'm gonna get back to the car.
Good. Okay. Who's got my camera?
Like you.
Okay, you guys may need to let me back up a little bit. How far? I gotta go back here and get in.
Robbie, you ain't in it.
Hey. All right, don't move. Let me get another one. I'm done. Good.
Here, can I see this one?
Hope that came out. Okay, now. Yeah, just lay it back down there, Hillary. Okay, come on, get out of there now.
Well, we gotta scoot it out of there.
I got it.
Oh.
Kind of easy down there, too. Okay, now, sometime between now and the time the snow flies, I'll get back down there and I'll set that stone up. Now, I want you to think about what you did today. You just remembered people who lived 125 years ago, and nobody probably thought much about these people. I don't know how long it's been. We put flowers on their grave, and they were remembered today, weren't they? After all these years. I want you to do one other thing for me. I'm 43. Mr. Gentry's 44, and my dad's 45. You kids are young. I want you to remember what you did, and sometime down the road, when I'm an old, wrinkled up old man and can't do stuff like this anymore, I want you to remember that this is here. Come up here. Take care of it. Maybe you need to redo it one of these days. Because you need to remember your past. Because that's how you learn about your future and know where you're going. All right? That's why history and social studies is so important. What?
That would mean that him and your mom would have you when he was 2.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we got everything done. Don't leave anything here now.
I have a journal.
That says Jane Burnett, wife of Oliver Burnett. I want to take just a minute and take you down by the church and show you the other cemetery that's got graves in it, probably about the same time as these people were buried here, okay?
Died in
You want to
71.
bring this back?
72.
Who declares that?
I got them. Why is it not close? Yeah, I got those a little out square, but I didn't have any way squared up.
This thing off.
Okay. We're gonna make it on back down to the bus. What I want you to do before you get on the bus, the field down there, the grass, kind of shuffle your feet in that grass, and that'll get some of the mud out of your track. You want to lead the way, Mr. Gentry, and I'll follow up behind.